Okay guys, so today I'm gonna tell you a little story of something that happened to me recently. It was quite amazing. And I'll show you exactly what happened. So, I was walking down the street and I saw this man. And I said, hey, can I try a little experiment with you? So he said, okay, sure. He seemed a little bit confused, a young kid walking up to him with Monarch's Theory 11 deck of cards. The best deck in the world. Anyway, I asked him to shuffle up the cards. I said, we're gonna try a little mental experiment with you. So, I asked him to shuffle up the cards, and he did very thoroughly. I asked him to look through all the cards, totally different, and I took out the two jokers, and I showed him. I said, the two jokers are gonna help us with this trick. And then I started to pre-arrange the deck, because you know how magicians do their tricks with the setup. But I didn't show him the setup because it was obviously a magic trick, and I didn't want to expose the secret of the trick. So what I did was I pre-arranged the deck right here, and I, just like this, now have arranged the deck into two piles, just like this, okay? And before the trick really started, I took 3 random cards from one pile and put them inside of the other, and I gave it a little shuffle. Then I told the man, okay, so now the experiment will begin. I'm going to take the two jokers and they're going to mark this pile, okay? Then we're going to split this pile into 2 halves, put one on top and one on the bottom, okay? Now, as you can see here, we have this section. We have technically 3 sections of cards. We have this section here, then we have this section between the two jokers, and then we have this section on the end. I asked the man to pick any 3 cards he wanted to from the section within the jokers. So, let's say I think he picked this one, also this one, and he probably also picked that one as well. So, he picked those 3 cards, and I asked him to go ahead and take a look at the 3 cards. So he did. At first he hid them to himself because he thought it had to be a secret, but I told him he didn't have to worry about that. And I asked him if he noticed anything similar about all of the cards, and he said, yes, they're all red. And I said, really? That's kind of interesting, because since I had these 3 sections of cards here, I want to show you something. The section right here, in between the two jokers, was all black cards. I influenced him mentally to pick the only 3 red cards in this section, for the other red cards were on the ends of the jokers. And that is the trick, and now for the tutorial. Okay guys, so I really like this trick. I am a really big fan of this trick. That story was all made up. It was just part of the performance, but I kind of liked using that story. I haven't actually performed this trick to many spectators. I've only done it, like, I'd say like twice, like in my entire life, to a real spectator live. But I think it's a really amazing trick, and it deserves to be well known, so that's why I'm going to teach it right here today. So all you need is a normal deck of cards, and they can be completely shuffled, because you're actually going to let the spectator shuffle the cards, so they have to be all completely normal and random. So then you also need 2 jokers. You have the spectator shuffle up the deck. It doesn't matter, and you don't have to have 52 cards for this trick. You can have whatever amount of cards you want. Then when they're done shuffling, you give it back to them, and you say you're going to start pre-arranging the deck. So what you're going to do is you're going to be splitting the deck into half red and half black, but the black half, you're going to want to leave 3 red cards behind on the black half. So, for instance, let's take these 3 red cards. So try and find a spot where there are 3 red cards next to each other, and if not, you can always make that happen. But when you find a spot with those cards next to each other, go ahead and cut them to the top of the deck so you don't have to worry about them. Then I like to separate the reds from the blacks, and you do this secretly. You don't want to show them this is happening. So I'll fast forward through this part. Okay, so once you've separated it into a red half and then a black half with 3 red cards on top, this is what you need. So then you set these down, and just remember which half is which. Now, from the black pile, you're just going to say, alright, let me just do this real quick. You're going to take the 3 red cards from the black pile, and you're going to put them in random spots in the red pile. And then you can give it a little shuffle, like a real shuffle. And this is a real shuffle. If you want to, you can give this pile a shuffle, but it doesn't really matter, because this is all black cards and all red cards. So now, you're going to take the jokers, and you're going to put them one on top and one on the bottom of the red pile. Then take the black pile, split it in half, put one on top and one on the bottom. So now, you have 3 sections of cards. You have black cards here, red cards inside of here, and black cards there, okay? So now, this is basically the main idea of the trick, is they pick any 3 cards from the middle section. Whatever cards they pick from the section, they're all going to be red. You know why? Because these are all red cards. But you're going to do a secret move that they don't see when they're flipping over their 3 cards. When they flip over their cards, you're going to do that little thing called the Herman Pass. That's the secret move of this trick. So you get a break around half the deck, just get it approximately around half, and you're going to do the Herman Pass, and I've made a tutorial precisely for this one move on my channel, so go ahead and check that out. I'll leave a link in the description below. But basically, you're going to do the Herman Pass, which is just an invisible way to cut the cards. Once you're done, go ahead and spread out the cards, and the trick is all done. You say, you know, it's kind of funny that you picked those 3 red cards from this section, because it just so happens that all of these cards were black. And then they will just be like, whoa, what the heck? And then you can say like, yep, I mentally influenced you to pick the only 3 red cards in that pile because I am a magician, and that is what I do. So, you can make up whatever story you want, or you can just do this as a spectator. I really enjoy this trick, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as me. So, good luck performing this trick, and see you guys for the next video. Bye.